It's the same recipe. Any questions on this one? So dry ingredients, wet ingredients, mix and bake for 10-12 minutes. Very easy. The next one is, I have them on Sabbath here. The cookies that I had, so the chocolate chip cookies. Those are a little bit of more work. So I have the egg replacement mixed with water. Then I have a cup of vegan unsalted butter. And I like to take this one, it's the best taste, it's not salty. And for this recipe, 1 cup so that's that's a 1/4 cup, and that's another wet, so that's 1 cup. So you mix those as a wet ingredient with a cup of water, sugar, and then vanilla. And then you have the dry ingredients, which is salt, baking powder, and rich flavor. I was going to demonstrate this, but we're not going to do it. We're just going to taste it. So you have 3 ingredients or 4 dry, and then this with a cup of sugar. You can mix the sugars, or you can use your choice of sugar and vanilla. And then mix them together, make like a dough. In the beginning, it's going to be crumbly and very dry, but then if you work a little bit. And then I like to use, when I have my dough, I like to use the scoop, ice cream scoop, and take exactly, I use this one for the cookies that I make. And then I have 2 cookie sheets, I put the dry, the parchment paper, and it comes like 50 toy cookies. I ate 3 of them.
Do you use parchment and wax paper?
Yes, yes, and that's another, oh, I need someone there. I like to get the cut ones, the cut parchment, the sheets, so I don't have to cut, I just take a sheet and can you give me the, and you don't have to spray for this one. So I have my baking sheets already, I use those already pre-cut. I just put 1 and 2 and have them ready. When I'm done with the dough, I just scoop and bake them 10 minutes. Don't leave them more. Even if they are very soft, they are gonna get harder. Any questions on this kind of cookies? So it's very, very simple. Just have to have a few ingredients which are basics in a pantry, and you just mix and bake.
Is the parchment to cut down on calories? So not
The what?
the parchment, is that to keep you from using extra calories?
Yes, with the oil. And those have already a cup of butter, so you don't need to spray because they will not gonna stick to the pan.
Well, that's real butter?
This is vegan,
Vegan butter?
vegan, unsalted, it's herb balance.
Oh.
Once in a while it's good to use. You'll see that this is not the best option, the best dessert, the best is probably prunes or any other, don't use it.
But much better than the real.
Oh, yeah, this is the best to use. Unsalted buttery sticks. It's better even eat the spreads. The herb balance has other.
Jeffrey, say. Ask your question.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
You'll use all that. I use a lot of margarine.
All right.
So, what's the substitute that I could put in the refrigerator for
You'll see. You'll see. We're gonna watch a 10-minute video. Can you bring me another thing from the fridge, please? Yes,
The fire is in the refrigerated section of the store, or is it in the dry section?
this one, it's in the refrigerator, yeah. It's margarine.
And where would you find that egg replacement aisle? What aisle would you, or would that be around?
The
the
egg
grocery store?
replacement, it's probably in baking section. And I don't know if you can find it in any store, probably Mayer 5, the 5, not that one, yes. Or Whole Foods, I got mine at Whole Foods, or you can order on Amazon, everything. Any other questions? If not, we're gonna go to the next recipe. It's a no-bake pumpkin pie. In the recipe, you have another crust. I didn't do that, I just bought one, I don't know. That's made of nuts. There are 3 ingredients that you can mix in a food processor and put it on any shape you want, any dish, and then you make the filling. And then it's done, so you don't have to bake it. So that's the pumpkin pie. And the ingredients are for the filling. So the crust is dates, raw nuts, and oats, and pumpkin spice. You mix them in a food processor, and then you press them down with a spoon and make the crust and put it in the fridge. Then you make the filling. For the filling, we need 1 cup of pumpkin puree that you buy in the can. Starch, cornstarch, and I like to use arrowroot instead of cornstarch. It's healthier version. Arrowroot, it does the same thing, thickening.
Arrowroot?
You can find this anywhere, even Aldi. Yeah, it's right here. You can take pictures of this. And then we have a 1/3 cup of sugar, any kind of sugar you like, healthier version. Then pumpkin spice. I made my own pumpkin spice, and I really like it. It's very. A pinch of salt, sea salt, is very important to put that pinch of sea salt because it brings up the flavors. And then 1 cup unsweetened milk. And for that I use the coconut milk. So I put that and I mix it, and vanilla. And for 5-10 minutes you put it on the stove so you can thicken, so you can make that consistency. When it starts and thicken, you have the instructions here. And then pour it in the crust and it's done, put it in the fridge, no bake. So, pumpkin pie, milk, spices, salt, and voila. And then you can make 10 of them, put it in the freezer, and have them, eat them. Any questions on this one? No bake pumpkin pie.
Can I, instead of using the pumpkin on the can?
Yeah, you can bake your own pumpkin and measure that 1 cup of baked pumpkin, of course.
Okay.
I also want to mention that I use this a lot instead of condensed milk. And I also use it to make whipped cream. So you put it in the fridge overnight and the liquid goes on the bottom and the thickness, the fat stays on top. And then you mix it with powdered sugar and you have the best whipped cream. And I use this monk fruit powdered sugar. So no calories, no milk, no dairy.
For coconut milk, you can also make your own, right, from scratch.
This is thicker, yeah, you can make any milk you want to make. 1 cup of nuts or seeds, 3 cups of water. Soak overnight or a few hours, blend in a blender, and it's, you can put a little bit salt, a little bit sweetener, and you have it any kind of milk. Alright, so that was the no-bake pumpkin pie. And we have one more. What time is it?
Just remember that.
Alright. This is the first time I made this. Can you bring it down? Just one.
What you see and hear is the work of years and years. So don't expect that you will learn everything. But if you like to combine, to try, if you like to look for the best and for the healthiest, one cookie at a time, it's going to be wonderful.
It's very easy. It's the same way you bake with regular, just replace with the healthier versions. And then you follow the recipe, read the recipe twice. You have just few ingredients, dry and few wet. Mix them, follow the directions. It's simple. It's not science. Anybody can do it. This is called Adronis Cake. Is the easiest and delicious cake I did. So first I did the cake, then I did the topping. The cake is very easy. This here. No, I can't read. Who wants to read the ingredients for this cake? So it's everything mixed in once. You don't need wet or dry or wet.
1.5 cups of whole wheat flour, 3 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 2/3 cup of pure maple syrup, 6 tablespoons of unsweetened applesauce, 1 tablespoon of white vinegar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 3/4 cup of cold water. That's for the cake. Then the frosting is 1 12-ounce package of silken tofu, 3/4 cup of dairy-free semi-sweet chocolate chips melted, and 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract.
Very good. So you mix all the dry ingredients, which are regular in your pantry. Vanilla, cocoa, no eggs, no dairy. You have sugar, you have unbleached flour, and then the topping is the easiest one. I put those to, I measure, put them to a very low temperature to melt, and then you blend the silk tofu. I forgot to bring you can find them. It's not firm, it's not extra firm tofu, it's silken tofu. Silken.
It'll say on the.
Yeah, it says, especially for desserts.
Yeah.
And you mix that in the blender, and then you mix with the melted, and then you put on top of the cake. And the cake came perfectly. I just mix them, bake them, and it's. So this is Adronis. Alright, we're gonna watch that little video, 5 minutes video, to know how to make chia pudding. And we have, the video demonstrate 5 kinds of flavors. I just made the banana one and the strawberry one for tasting tonight.
Did you read this one?
We should.
Okay. From the beginning?
The 5 minutes one.
Oh, okay.
It's about chia pudding. It's a bad idea. Yeah, you can do that
It looks like there are three main ingredients on the top, just berries. The rest is just. Yes.
How many of you did have chia pudding before? Chia pudding. How many of you tasted it? You can use it as a breakfast, make it the night before. You can use it as a snack, as a dessert. It's very. What's chia seeds good for? Who can help? They are high in fiber, omega-3, and many other.
Protein too.
Yes, protein. And give you the sensation of society, you know, because,
I made the banana one and the strawberry one. Any questions on this?
this is it.
So you can eat that every day?
Hmm?
You can eat that every day?
Yeah, I made it once a week and I make few jars and I have them in the fridge and I take one in the morning or a snack. I come
How long do these last in the refrigerator? How many days can you keep?
4 or 5, 3, 4, 5 days.
What do you think is, show my ignorance, lemon zest? I don't know what that is.
The peeling uses the lemon.
Shredding the,
You take the lemon, yeah, wash it and then it's just
You grate it.
you grate it.
Yeah, you grate cheese, yeah, do that with a lemon, you can do it.
Oh, that was my favorite one.
because the
Lemon.
lemon skin have some type of oils.
Yeah.
That is the zest.
Release the oils from the lemon peeling and it's really tasty.
It's good for your digestive system too.
Alright. Before we make some ice cream, we're gonna watch almost 10 minutes video, then we're gonna make the ice cream and we're gonna taste the recipes. You have a recipe for each one and we are done. Any other questions before, or we can talk after.
Did you take the brownies out, because they smell?
Yeah, it's not ready. I have my timer. It's gonna be ready.
Well, explain us who is there.
Okay, this guy is called Rip Esselstyn. His dad is the Caldwell Esselstyn, who worked at the Ohio Hospital. And you can Google his name, and I really like this guy. He's not an Adventist, he was a firefighter, and here he's talking about the 7-day rescue diet. And it's 1 hour and 20 minutes, I can send you the link, but this is just 10 minutes, relatively 10 minutes.
Like the numbers, I'm sorry, the shift is really, you guys are crazy. So, 7, why do you like 7? 7, okay, so let's do this, ready? This is when we get one, we'll cross it out. So, 7 days of the week, what else?
40. Yes, I don't like it.
On several chronic diseases, you keep going. You keep going until your health dictates that you can lighten up a little bit. For some people, this is the way they want to eat for the rest of your lives. And what you'll find is that you're not giving up anything at all, and you're gaining everything. And this is not, as you're going to see, this is not about deprivation. This is entirely about empowerment. So pillar number 1 is why we love plants. I want you all to know the true deep dive in nutrition. It doesn't live in a piece of red meat, chicken, fish, or eggs, or dairy. It lives in that piece of broccoli, that kale, that black bean, those oats, right, that honey milk. This is where everything that is beneficial resides. So I'm going to show you a lot of the same slides I showed you last night, but we're going to go a little deeper. So plants are the bond right? Now, I am going to bash right now animal products, all right? And I want to do it in relation to this, a whole new paradigm, strong food versus weak food. So we were all raised traditionally thinking that red meat and chicken and fish and eggs were strong sources of protein and were super strong foods. That dairy products like milk and cheese and yogurt were strong sources of vitamins and minerals, specifically calcium, that would give me a strong bones and a strong body. That these low-fat dairy products were superior to the full-fatty ones. And that olive oil was the Mediterranean health food. And the new kid on the block, coconut oil, was like we needed it for brain health. And I want you to know that all these foods, the animal foods, the animal byproducts, the oils, are truly the weak foods. And the foods that we traditionally grew up thinking were weak. The plants are the true, strong superheroes that you guys are eating this whole week. So, as we talked about last night, red meat, 70 milligrams of cholesterol per 3 ounces. But guess what? What else do you have in that red meat? And you guys learned about this today in the documentary. You've also so we've got weak cholesterol, we've got a weak type of fat, we've got a combination of trans fats that we don't want to be anywhere near, and we also have saturated fat. Your average piece of red meat is 40% saturated fat. 40%. And what else do we have? We've got protein, but we've got a weak source of protein that actually promotes inflammation, drains calcium from our bones, actually, as they talk about in the documentary, revs up our cells and makes them more prone for cancer and tumors. And then also animal protein raises cholesterol levels. So red meat, all those things. Chicken, 70 milligrams of cholesterol. It's still your leanest piece of chicken breast is 30% saturated fat. You still got the animal protein, and you also have something, when you cook chicken on a grill, you produce something called heterocyclic amines, HCAs, that are basically carcinogens, and they are not pretty. We also have fish, and the thing with fish is, along with cholesterol, you're also getting your leanest piece of fish. Salmon is about 20% saturated fat. You're also getting the wrong kind of protein, animal protein, and you're also getting pollutants. You get PCBs, dioxins, and mercury that bioaccumulate and biomagnify in the fat in the fish. All right, let's not do the salmon because it has omega-3s. There's a much smarter, more intelligent, stronger way to get our omega-3s, and it's called what? Plants. Let's go straight to the mother source where the fish get theirs from. And then eggs, as we talked about yesterday, right? There's only 2 things wrong with the egg, the yolk and the white. The yolk is over 200 milligrams of dietary cholesterol. The white is a weak source of problematic protein. And one egg, if you were to eat one egg, it's 67% fat, and it's 30% saturated fat. Cheese. So, what do we call cheese again? We call it hard meat, okay? But cheese is dairy crack. It's dairy crack. It's a concentrated source of calories. Just to put it in perspective for you, 1 glass of whole milk is 150 calories. Has the same amount of saturated fat as 5 strips of bacon and almost twice the amount of cholesterol. That's 1 glass of whole milk. If you were to melt cheddar cheese, 1 cup of cheddar cheese contains 986 calories, and it's a concentrated source of not only calories, but saturated fat, cholesterol, casein, right? As Dr. Colin Campbell talks about, the #1 carcinogen in the American diet, and casomorphines that are low levels of opiates. So cheese, you want to run and hide from cheese. It's not doing any of us any favors, even though we may think that we love our cheese. Okay, what is yogurt? What do you eat? What's the most popular yogurt out there? Okay, it's the Greek yogurt. Why is the Greek yogurt so popular these days? And don't say John Samos. Well, it's because, what does it say right on the label? It says twice the amount of protein, 0 fat. So we're all falling for that twice the amount of protein. And as we're going to learn here, we get all the protein we need. We don't need to worry about that. And what kind of protein do we have in yogurt? We have animal protein, and 86% of the protein in dairy products comes from what kind of protein specifically? Casein, CASEIN, that is a growth accelerator put there by the mother cow to grow that baby cow as fast as possible. So it's going to accelerate and rev up all the cells in your body, including dormant tumor and cancer cells. So what we're doing inadvertently, thinking that we're eating this, Mediterranean Greek, superfood, is we are just fertilizing any tumor and cancer cells that we have. And then we have ice cream, which, as you remember, is frozen meat. Why do we love ice cream so much? It is just fat and it is sugar, right? And all the receptors in our brain go off like a little pinball machine, and we're like, wow, that was amazing. All right? So one of the things we're doing during the 7-day rescue is we are down-regulating all of these receptors in our brain for salt, sugar, and fat, as you're going to find out. And then we have milk, which is obviously liquid meat. And, as I just said, whole milk, 1 8-ounce glass of whole milk. And you may not know this, but it is 51% fat. If you look at the number of calories coming from fat, it's 51%. What about 2%? What percent fat do you think an 8-ounce glass of 2% milk is? Well, I would say 2%. Right? That's what it says on that card. But the reality is, it's 35% fat. And what they do is they do it by the weight of the fat in that glass of milk as opposed to the number of calories coming from fat. As we all know, most of the weight in milk is coming from water. And that's why they can get away with that. And 1% milk is actually 25% fat, and fat-free milk, skim milk, is somewhere by law between 0 and 5% fat. However, it has a greater proportion of its calories coming from casein than either 1%, 2%, or whole milk does. So the moral of this story is, become so habituated that we don't even think that there's anything wrong with us drinking cow's milk, taking that cow's milk and turning it into cheese or butter or yogurt. And it is a huge mistake, okay? The only milk that we want to consume is our mother's breast milk until we're 1.5 or 2, and then we move on. Like the other 50,000 mammals on the planet. We're the only mammals that drink another mammal's secretions. Very bizarre.
Instead, I love cheese. I really love cheese.
It's addictive. I give addiction. The cheese gives addiction.
We never heard of the red light. And it's sad because the red light said that 100 years ago. But that's the SST. His dad is carrying out cardiologist
At the Ohio Cleveland.
He was, but he quit his job so he can do this kind of work. And he was a firefighter. He convinced all of his team to go vegan. And now all of them are health educators. I ordered his last 2 books. Any other questions before we go and taste some of the... So this is a better alternative of ice cream. We have frozen bananas. Every time you have dark bananas, like when the skin turns brown, you peel them and freeze them. When you crave some ice cream, you can blend them with just a tablespoon of dark milk and put whatever toppings you want. So this is frozen bananas and strawberries. You can put mango, whatever, pineapple, any frozen food that you like.
Ladies and gentlemen, prepare to be amazed. And from now on, if you still have bananas and they're turning a little bit to brown, peel them,
put them in a little bag specific for to keep frozen stuff, and put them in the freezer.
And as a topping, I have only the maple syrup.
But you can put some nuts.
You can put whatever you like. So here are the spoons, and you are welcome to taste the.